The thing is, at the time when Damien came along, in my mind, I was like, today, I was finished because I had a lot of, relationships. But the thing
Yes.
is, the relationship was not aligned up to God, So
Right.
we had a little, I had a little issue, and
Mm-hmm.
so it was so overwhelming that I remember going on the bus going home, and I said to the Lord, Lord, I am done. I am giving my heart to you now, and anybody else come to me, it must be my husband.
Excellent.
And what I didn't want, and this is why I didn't get children before I got married, was that anybody who had my child is gonna be in my life forever. And I
Excellent.
wouldn't want that
Damon,
person
hold
to
on,
be.
Damon, hold on. Me now make that slide. I think that is extremely admirable because you're saying it's not like I was having sex. It's not like I never had girls who I was dating or with. But I deliberately said I will not have my kids out of wedlock. I will not have them outside of a union.
Wavelength. Because when he came and I said to him, Damien, what do you want from me?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not interested in a boyfriend and girlfriend thing right now.
Yeah.
I've been there, I've done that, and I am done. So what do you want? And he said, I want it to be my wife.
My my need for her body was great.
Yes.
Great is that understatement.
I really had very, very high sex drive.
Yes.
And then hers now
This is
was good.
And now for our featured presentation.
Hi everyone, welcome to another
Conversation with the Leaves.
Conversation with the Leaves. We are delighted, we are happy to have you guys as part of the Lee family. We want to say
thank you to all our new subscribers.
And welcome to the family. For those who are watching for the first time and you're not yet a subscriber, come on, man, be a part of the family. Subscribe, and of course, if you like what you're seeing, which we know you will, share the link, share the video with other persons, and tell them to join the family at Conversation with These. Today we have been doing a series called Marriage Works, and today we have another one for you. Another lovely friends of ours, a lovely couple, and we are going to have a conversation with them. And again, we promise you'll be inspired, you'll be motivated, you'll be encouraged. And guys, remember, you can have an opportunity to have your video, small clip, 10 to 15 seconds. You can have your video in our video, right? And all you're required to do is to just record yourself, encouraging others to subscribe to our channel. And of course, you must add like, share, and subscribe, and tell them why you're encouraging them to subscribe to Conversation with These. Check us out on Instagram and TikTok, and of course, we are on YouTube. All right. So again, without any further ado, we're gonna ask you to join the conversation as we make welcome Damion and Temoy Henry.
So, as we say, guys, we have with us the Henrys. That's Damion and Temoy Henry. They are very good friends of ours from way back when. And we want to say to you guys, really, really appreciate it. It is now after I got to 10 in the night, and they have agreed to stay on with us. And Damion, this is past Damion bedtime, but he's he's here with us. He and his lovely wife, and we're gonna have a conversation, guys. This is another lovely one for you. This is what we do here on Conversation. This bring you the good stuff. All right. So First question, guys, just give us a little background. Tell us about yourselves. You know, Damion, if you're coming from Timbuktu, Temoy, if you live out, come from Moko, I don't know. Just give us a background on yourselves.
All right, so I'll start. I grew up most of my life in Clarendon, deep rural Clarendon, a place called Desire District, that is near Frankfield. Going to school, it was very challenging because my parents, they were on the poor end of life. I walked to school over 3 miles to and over 3 miles back daily. For 5 years of high school, I completed my primary school after the Easter break. That's when I started primary school, and then 5 years of high school. It was very challenging then going to school. I saw a lot of children with things that I really wanted to have, but I couldn't have them, only because we were not in the position to get them. Anyway, fast forwarding, after finishing school, had subjects couldn't go backward nor forward because of financial restraints. I decided that I wanted to, take up the trade, auto mechanic, because it was part of in the family. My uncle was a mechanic, but then he was good in his way. And I fell in love with the trade. Went to garages, improved myself. Also around my brother, because he had a garage, I went there as an advanced apprentice, and I was there until I went on to the German school, where I got my qualification rather, and I moved on to working with a dealership for over 12 years now. And life has changed drastically over that period of time. So it's much better now.
Amen. Much better now.
Oh Lord. For me, I am from Clarendon, Frankfield, Copen specifically.
You are from Clarendon too?
Yes, we're both from Clarendon. We didn't have any connections then because I didn't know him at that time. For me, it wasn't as bad as him, but we too had some challenges growing up, but I learned to just to be contented with what I had at the time. I went to school, left high school, came to Kingston, said to my mommy at the time when I graduated, "Mommy, I ain't coming back." So I left high school, I came to Kingston and resided in Kingston. And I didn't leave high school with anything. When I went proudly to do 5 subjects. And then I only got 1, 3 out of 5. And so I worked hard, and I put myself to do my 6s on my own. And then I went to college, and now here I am, an educator, a guidance counselor specifically, but I'm working in the primary as a classroom teacher.
Excellent.
So things has changed over the years as well.
And as Damion said, it is better now. Excellent. But and you both are Christians. Tell us about your early Christian journey, what it was like, and what led you to the Lord.
Well, for me, I grew up in church. I'm a church girl. I don't know nothing about the world. I've never been to a dance. I don't go to parties or anything. I grew up in church from I was born. So I resided there, and I fell in love with it. And the Lord, with His power, cornered me. Throughout my years growing up. So that's pretty much it. I grew up in church.
And Amen.
Well, for me, when I was very young, we used to attend. I think it's an open Bible church on Old Hope Road.
I think
That's when I used to live at Barbican
Okay.
Terrace. Yes, there was a church there that we as young children, we used to just go to that church on a Sunday morning.
Yes.
Nothing serious, didn't mean much to us. But fast forward into 2010 or 2011, somewhere thereabout, I
Yes.
was living with my cousin, that's the Browns, brother and sister Brown.
Right. God
And,
bless her. God bless her soul.
Yes, God bless her soul. And they used to pressure me to come to church, come to church, come to church. And I was like, all right, I bite in every now and then until I got casted. And I said, okay. Then sometime, I think it was in Youth Week,
Yes.
that I when things got really serious, I received the Holy Ghost.
Bless God.
Yeah.
And life then, I have been in the church. I mean, I'm not going to tell anyone that yes, it's a bed of roses, because we all have
Yes.
challenges everywhere
Yes.
we go. But to God be the glory. We are still there, and we're
Yes.
still hanging on, and we're still trusting in it.
Bless the name of the Lord.
Beautiful. And so how long have you been married? How long have you been married?
Okay, so we're going on to our 10th year in
Yes.
October. So
October
it's
10th.
Wow.
Yeah, so-
It's true. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So it is 9 years and 5 months.
Mhm.
9 years and 5 months.
And counting.
And counting.
And counting.
And
And
counting.
counting. We'll catch
No,
you
I
guys.
can't believe it's 10
We'll
years
catch you
already.
guys.
10 years. You can
So-
imagine,
so-
yeah?
So Malika got married like couple months before you guys.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was right
Excellent.
after.
Oh,
Yes.
Time of move.
Time of fly. We're getting old.
Don't get it.
But tell us though, how did you both meet, and yeah, how did it blossom into this love relationship?
I think that question is hard to answer because I can remember bits and pieces of my early years.
Yes.
I didn't know Temoy. I mean, she always looked good on the choir singing, and I said, "Oh yes, that girl. She looks nice, and
Yes.
she's worshiping. She's a woman of the Lord. She just fits every criteria that I was looking for."
Yes.
And the outward appearance, and I said, "Oh yes." And then sometimes I would sit there on the bench in the pew, and I remember one time she was touching my fingernail, and like she was saying to me that you need to clean up your fingernail. and I was like, why this girl taking set on me?
And I know that.
Yes. And I was kind of reading it like as a
A sister to a brother.
yeah. And then when I started looking at her more often now, it's just
Yes.
I just started having this feeling like, what this thing looks. And so my cousin now, who he is an integral part of the church, I think he was deacon at the time. I was talking to him, and you know how a lot of church folks are. Well, talk to the Lord.
Yes.
And so but they got to understand that some likings were there, and
Yes.
I had a great interest as well, but I didn't want her to know that, and I didn't want to put it across to anybody for that to leak, because what we wanted to do is to see if naturally or spiritually we would connect.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we just allow it to blossom out, and it really did work. And when the suggestion finally came to Pastor, I mean, remember I asked Pastor about someone else before, and Pastor told me, "Oh, go and pray about it." And when I this time when I said to Pastor Temoy, Pastor said, I'll talk to you later.
No different answer.
And Pastor came to where I was living at the time and said, that question you asked me earlier? Yes.
All right.
When it's
Before
right.
we get to the other part of it now, Temoy, what was your first impression? Because Damion said he saw you in the choir and he said, yes, this looked like her. And then you start playing in mechanic fingernail.
No,
But
for
tell us,
me,
where was it for you?
no, for me, I wasn't looking at him any at all.
Yes.
But I remember one time when the office was downstairs, Sister Brown, and a few of us young people were in the office. And we were talking casually, who you're married to and all of that. And somebody mentioned him, but
Yes.
they didn't mention him for me. They
Right.
mentioned him for another sister.
Never is a liar.
And
The devil's a liar. It's just
I'll
a
tell
matter
you,
of
when
time.
they
Right.
mention, so what about Damion? It's the first my mind just clicked. I'm like, oh yes, Damion. So from that, every time when I'm sitting up there, I am just looking through the door. Is he coming today? Is he coming today? Yes, he's coming today. And so whenever I see him, my heart like, whew. But he didn't know that, he didn't know that I was interested in
Yes.
him until that time when he said about the finger.
Yes.
Because I was there playing around him every now and then. I play around him. So when he comes to church, I will, if he and I get to speak, then
Yes.
I will look at his finger and say something every now and then, 1 or 2 things to him.
Yes.
All right, so guys,
And
just
1 second.
I was about to say that. Guys, if you see Temoy Fidget, they both have 2 children and
Beautiful
together.
children.
What's your daughter name again?
Arisia.
Arithia.
Arisia.
Risia. Okay.
Yes, Arisia.
All right. So I gather Arisha wants some attention.
Yes.
All is well again?
Yeah, she's okay.
So she's all right.
Yeah, man, she's okay.
All right, so continue the story now.
Oh yes, so every now and then when I get a chance, like during youth service, he will come, and I wouldn't go around him, because he doesn't know that I,
Had intentions.
Yeah.
no, because he doesn't know anything. So,
Yes.
but then I will pick at him every now and then. So I didn't even know he was looking at it too until he just mentioned it.
Excellent. Excellent.
There she is. Go and lay down back. I soon come.
So all right, so Temoy, just like how we can know a new Tanisha business, we can know your business too. You remember? I think I remember when I don't know if it's Damion said something to me or some friend in the circle, and I remember talking to Temoy. I said, Temoy, you need to give a look at Damion. So I don't know if it's before you looked at him, but I remember saying to me, said, I look a boy.
I think it was before.
It was before. So Temoy said, even a little boy. And I said, no man, you need to give him a chance and have a conversation. So tell me what that conversation was like, if you remember.
Okay, so it was on its birthday, because then my friend Ingrid at the time, she played a key role in helping us to get together, because the evening it was on his birthday, and she came to my workplace and she said, Simone, why don't you give him a call, man? Call him, man. Call him. He's not doing anything. Let him come up church.
Mm-hmm.
And I was there for a while. I said, no, I'm not calling him, man. And she said, call him, man. And so I called him and I asked him what he's gonna do. And he said nothing. And I said, all right, come to church. And so when he comes to church, that's the time when we started talking. Until it get a little bit more, because we didn't have much time.
Yes.
Because the thing is, at the time when Damion came along, in my mind, I was like, I was finished, because I had a lot of, relationships. But the thing is, the relationship was not align up to God, you know. So we had I had a little issue, and so it was so overwhelming that I remember going on the bus going home, and I said to the Lord, I am done. I am giving my heart to you now, and anybody else come to me, it must be my husband.
Yes.
Yes. And so when he came along, there was no resistance. There was nothing. It, like everything just flows. And
the floodgates open.
Date that we had, we went to the park. We went to the park. The park.
So this is the first date.
Yes, Emancipation Park.
Yes.
And we and I remember the first I asked him the question. I said, Damion, what do you want from me?
Straight up.
But the thing is that when she asked that question, I already made up in my mind that I any relationship that I am in now, it is a serious relationship.
So is it that you had a similar situation where you have been through some relationships and you're at the point where whoever it is now will have to be the one?
The thing is that I was very picky.
Okay.
In terms of who I would be with. Reason is because my intention was that anybody who I'm with now, anybody who I get married to,
yes,
I have made a commitment within myself that I would be with that person for the rest of my life.
Excellent.
And what I didn't want, and this is why I didn't get children before I got married, was that anybody who had my child is gonna be in my life forever.
Excellent. Hold on. Let me not make that slide. I think that is extremely admirable, because you're saying it's not like I was having sex. It's not like I never had girls who I was dating or with, but I deliberately said I will not have my kids out of wedlock. I will not have them outside of a union. That's excellent, Damon. Very admirable. Yeah.
Because what happened is that I've seen a lot of relationships during my time. I remember I was in the world.
Right.
I've seen a lot of relationships, and I see where persons try to destroy other person's relationship because of a child is outside or stuff like that. And trust me, it's very hard on an individual, because now the ones that are in the household with the family is not going to feel neglected.
That is so true.
It's going to let the ones that are outside feel neglected, because they're saying, Daddy spend all the time with you, Mommy spend all the time with you, and we are here and we can't get the attention that we would want from our parents. And I just decided that I didn't want any of that. And furthermore, under the circumstance which I grew, which I don't know my father, I still don't know him, I have not grown with a father. And I decided that I want to be the change.
Excellent.
In my family, in the family.
You'll be the catalyst.
Break that first. So
excellent.
I've made up my mind, and trust me, I know I found the right person.
Amen. Bless God.
You know, for my commitment.
Yes. Excellent.
So you can say both of us were on the same
path and
same wavelength. Because when he came and I said to him, Damion, what do you want from me? Because I'm not interested in a boyfriend and girlfriend thing right now. I've been there, I've done that, and I am done. So what do you want? And he said, I want it to be my wife.
Excellent.
And when he said that, I'm like, my heart said, okay, let's do it. I didn't have no hesitation. I just went forward.
Yes.
I tell you, my heart just go forward. And so we didn't have no long time.
No, because this was in this December of 2012.
Yeah.
Tell us about the engagement.
December of 2012. And by the January of 2013, we start making serious plans.
Yes.
Yes, and a few months later, we got engaged.
No. Tell us about the proposal, sir. Tell us how it went down. You can't speak about the juicy part.
the thing is that I am more of a person who wants to be sure, and I get comfort in being sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am not the person who does really the outburst kind of thing, or tries to load up certain things.
In other words, him like to do things privately.
Privately.
That's good.
And,
That's
and
quite
the
alright.
reason, and the reason for that is just to shelter yourself. So just in case you might get a no,
Yes, man.
Very wise.
just in case you get a no, it's
Yes.
only 1 or 2 or 3 persons hear the no. And so you see like that going in the middle of
Arbitrary square.
halfway tree square and going on your knees. I just
So you said you did the proposal. I mean, where did it take place? What was your reaction? I mean, and based on what you said, you would have brought a nucleus, like a smaller with a person.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
alright, so really and truly, it was in Sir's office, Pastor Kit's office.
Seriously?
It was on the night when Brother Robinson was
Yes.
having a play up by church.
I think it was
Right.
our first play, was it?
So it was up by Sir's office, in Sir's office, and it was the night when Brother Robinson was having this play.
You got you don't say you got skills, you got skills. Because
Yeah, when everybody was like out there and everything, and I went around and it was,
I remember for sure. Go ahead.
yes, he gave me the ring and I said yes.
Sir, bless the
And
ring.
Sir, bless the ring.
Yes.
And so I went in and I came out with Shine at the time I was singing, and I was singing to her like I have my finger trying to hide it. But the light is shining up. So by the end of the time, everybody like, so everybody knew afterwards. That was
But what is it with you church sisters? When they get engaged, it's like you don't want to hide the finger.
because you're not used to it. You're not
You
used
just
to
feel
it.
so conscious, everybody making much, and you're not really used to it yet.
Yeah.
You yourself don't even get into it yet. You know?
You're like, praise the Lord, sister. No, right?
Yeah. Yes.
At the time, Temoy, I don't know if you can identify. There were so many persons who desire to get married. You never want to rub it in and nobody feels.
That's it. Because you don't want anybody to say, hey, she should have feel man or she
Oh,
have
yes.
So you use the other hand instead of the one with the ring.
Right.
Even though I can tell you, sometimes I'm conscious, like when I'm in church and I'm worshiping and I lift my hands and say, all right, let me put down the one.
It's true. Because
Oh
there's
my
so many
God.
persons are married yet, and
Yes.
you know the vibes I feel.
All right, so you guys are now married. This year will make 10 years. But tell us about the first 2 years of marriage. What was it like? I mean, what was what was that thing that
Yes,
when them say, boy, 2 weeks come in one, and the friction starts or whatever. How was it 2 weeks?
Let me start that one. Let me start because
ahead.
we got married in October
Yes.
and about March.
Yes.
October is the ending of the year. So about
Yeah.
March the following yeur,
Yes.
I got pregnant. Mm-hmm.
It
Yes.
was that.
So
Yeah.
it was right after.
Yes. So,
When
no,
God say, no matter what you do,
No
You
time
can just
wasted.
imagine. It was
Well, as they say that you must be careful of what you wish for,
yes.
that's true.
because at my age I was saying that I think I was ready for a child, even though I was scared. I
Yes.
think I was ready for a child, and I said, by the time I reached the age 30,
Yes.
it would be good if I would have 2 children,
Right.
Yeah.
and all of that did come through.
Excellent.
God
Why not?
to the desire of your heart.
But before
By
that,
age 2, I was checking. So when you were at 30, you had your 2 children. I mean,
Yes,
Yeah.
both were born.
Excellent.
That's a
But
blessing.
before that, one of the thing I just wish we got more time to spend with each other,
Yeah.
because she was very shy. Even up to now, she's very shy.
No, man, I'm coming now. I'm bursting. I'm bursting.
She's bursting. but, I mean,
She's-
I'm burst out. I
yeah,
have burst out.
yeah.
She's messed out.
But from where we were coming from, I mean, my need for her body was great.
Yes, yes.
In other
Great
words,
is that understatement.
I really had very, very high sex drive.
Yes, yes.
And then hers now
This good.
was good. So it was all of this trying to come.
Yes. Oh my word.
That was a challenge for me.
Yes.
And but it's the early part of the relationship,
Right.
Yes.
and so even those stuff, they didn't matter to you.
Mhm.
You just saw yourself working through them, because as I said, the first 2 years is a honeymoon period.
Yeah.
There's really nothing wrong that your spouse can do within those 2 years. And so we just I really had some nights that I wish you would just give in to me, but
Yes.
it never happened. But I still stuck it out.
You persevered.
I persevered lived through the challenges. I mean, there were times when we had great times, but I knew based on her background what was
Yes.
happening, and so I knew that I just had to be patient with her,
Yo.
and that is what I did.
I said yo because I think like a lot of things that is missing from relationships, somewhat we hear and have another conversation. Not necessarily the conversation we've had on this platform, but rather one-to-one. That level of empathy and understanding is missing from a lot of relationships, wherein you see your wife has a certain background or thinking, and you realize where you are, you may be miles ahead, and you realize you have to just slow yourself down because she won't be going at the same pace that you're going. And so it requires you to have a little bit more patience, because I'm sure now, Damion, right? the levels of enjoyment and reception is far better.
If I go inside now and she see me come over, she just say here.
I don't mind.
Have your way.
She said, "Oh, it's yours."
But on a serious note, though, to go back to what you said, because I know that when a young lady is growing up in the church, morals and everything is different, and everything when you get married, it takes time to peel off certain things. But I admire the way you deal with it, because it takes maturity and wisdom.
It does.
It takes maturity and wisdom. And the truth is that you have a lot of men, even older men, who you would expect, they would possess those things, and they don't.
Yeah.
Even to today, when people marry, they maybe for 30, 40, it goes into a form of resentment because they truly didn't understand what was happening. So for you to pick it up so early and mature enough to deal with it and what have you, I'm sure it helped Temoy to feel comfortable in her skin, to peel back and to what have you. So
let you in.
Yeah, man. That is so true, Sister Lee. That is so true, because your background is your experience, and as you grow, you have to become mature. I too was very young. I was sheltered.
Yes.
Yeah, though, and so I was struggling to find the right relationship. So when Damion came along, he found me in my struggle. He found me in that place where I am trying to even know myself, to understand who I am, what makes me feel good, even sexually. Because even though I'm still learning, because you have to say we started really late in learning, because of the baby situation, because it kind of bring us back. And so when Ethan was now of age and we were able now to really enjoy bloops, another child comes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, but then we're still trying to, we call it now, peel off and learn each other and see how we can enjoy each other to make each other happy as well.
Even after 9 years being together, 9+ years being together, we are still growing.
And that's all right.
And we're still learning.
That's all right. And that, and guys, I believe that that's like good, because you know what? We can still explore, and the exploration is fantastic. Trust me.
Yeah.
I want to get to the point where the exploration reach a level where compatibility I get bigger, better and better. Trust me. It gets better from there.
The truth is, it does, and I think it doesn't matter how far you are, how many years. You still learn more. You there's more to attain. There's more to discover about each other. So the key thing is just to know that you are learning. And as a couple and all of that, because I don't think you really ever stop, because even after 32 years, we still learn how to deal with the and still learn how to deal with me.
that is true. Yeah.
What is that one thing, if there's any, that annoys you about your spouse? So that's vice versa.
Oh Lordy.
Well, for me, I'm gonna be straight. I love playing cricket.
Yes.
Cricket is what it de-stresses me a whole lot.
Yes.
When I am playing cricket, I think of nothing. My mind is free.
Yes.
I know.
Except when I want to keep it 6. Because Damion is a fast bowler, guys.
Yes.
So see power in his team.
So sometimes I really want to go and play a match, and my wife is always in my ears.
Yes.
Because what happened is that a lot of those matches are scheduled on a Sunday. Their weekend, we get a few Saturday matches, but most of them is on a Sunday. And trust me, I know I am supposed to be in the house of the Lord on a Sunday.
Yes.
Oh gosh, when she comes to me on a Sunday morning, and she's not going to stop picking and twitching and touching, and sometimes I just want to just give up. And just take all my gears and just throw them away and just say, I've just forget this whole thing.
Yes.
So I think that it is really.
Is that what you're saying? That is what annoys you the most? Me picking at you?
Yeah.
I'm not picking at him.
I understand. She loves you and she wants to know that you're all right. You're in the house.
But no. In all fairness, let me pick up from my brother.
I'm not picking at him.
In all fairness,
every now and then I remind him.
Okay.
I remind him.
So well, if it's a reminder, man,
it's a reminder.
No, the reminder come in a very strong way.
That's true.
No, it's a reminder. It's a reminder, because I believe that we must be balanced. You can love something, but you love something and balance it. So it shouldn't be more than.
That is true, but sometimes reminders come when you have the more important matches.
But then you're gonna have to strike a compromise.
Yeah.
I babes, 2 Sundays I'm gonna be in. The next 2.
I'm seeing Sundays still too.
No, well, that's something that go on this. What
thing is that?
What's that?
Well, for me, the only thing that I don't really like, men always do it, and leaving the clothes. You'll just fix up nicely the room nicely, and then you'll come in, and then he's tired. So at that point in time, it doesn't matter wherever he stops, you just take off and dress and leave right there. So that's sometimes annoying. And whatever you use, him leave it right there. So Sister Henry have to go behind him to take.
Has there been any improvement there, Damion? Because she'll call you out to them.
No improvement.
Truth be told. All right. So,
It do happen.
so next question I want to ask. We're about 4 more questions after this. I know you told us about where you met and thing, but I want to know, what was that moment that said to you, this is the guy? Or what was that moment that said to you, this is the girl?
Yeah, you know, I'm happy you brought up that question, because there was a part there that I really should have put in.
Yes.
Because it has been my summary story.
Yes.
When persons ask me about, find a good woman, find a good man and stuff like that. But I remember on her birthday of 2012,
Yes.
2013, it was a Friday, and rain was falling. At the time, I had a Mitsubishi Lancer. I had a Mitsubishi Lancer, and there was no AC. Not even the blower was working.
Oh my.
Not even the blower was working, and I planned a surprise birthday party for her.
Yes.
Up at the church, and I, leave work and say, all right, I'm going to pick her up and bring her to church, bring her up church and stuff like that. But the rain was pouring from heavens that day. And when I went to pick her up, she said to me, my friends want to go off a tree. They said if I can drop them on off a tree, and I'm like, this is going to blow the cover now.
Yeah.
And I was, all right, tell them to come, because I can't blow it. And they came in the car, and it's a whole lot of heat, because it's our bodies that are inside the car, and the windows have to be up, and there's no blower, there's no AC. And going towards Alfred Tree, and that has a whole lot of traffic. Going down to Alfred Tree was a day that I would never forget. I had some pink waist rag in the car that I used to just bring them from work. And trust me, I started wiping glass to get rid of the frost. And Simone took the rags and she wiped and wiped and wiped and wiped and wiped. For me, in front of her friends, it was very embarrassing.
I wasn't thinking about it.
It was very embarrassing for me, because you're dating someone and you just want to continue to wow them, to say yes, let everything look good, and then all of this was happening, and I was like in front of our friends, and just the way how she handled the situation. And then we went back up church, and she had her party and stuff like that. I was looking at it the next morning, and I was like, what happened yesterday? What happened yesterday? And me being the person that I am, very determined, I just pulled down the car instantly and say, you know what, no longer than today. I never want to go through this situation again. So I just look back at how she handled the situation. I was like, Father, thanks. That is a testing.
Yes, I was saying that they can't talk to you guys now because you have your
Yes, very nice, because they're pushing now.
Yes.
Go ahead, Temoy.
No, I was saying I wasn't thinking about that. I was just trying to let everybody feel comfortable, wiping the glass and everything. I wasn't even thinking about any of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So tell me, what was it then? What was that moment that told you that?
I told you my moment already. When I went on that date and I asked him.
Oh yes.
And I asked him,
emancipation.
I asked him with an intention, because I am listening keenly to his answer.
What could he have not said? What if he said something else other than, what was the you don't want to hear him say?
I didn't have anything in mind,
Yes.
because I was praying, I as I said, I threw away all other relationships.
Yes.
First of all, they weren't even new.
They were relationship
Makeup. Right. So I threw them away. And now I was in the moment now when I'm saying to God, God, have your way. And it was just an awesome feeling because it's like it was fulfilling.
Yes.
Understand? So when he said, I want you to be my wife, I looked at him and I said, you sure? And he said, yes. And my heart was just melted.
Yes.
I didn't even think twice. We went out November, December, and we start planning wedding by January the following year. So we didn't have a long we just went straight into it because it felt good. It felt like I was relieved because I was kind of waiting long, I was waiting on the Lord. I was waiting, so when he said that, man, that was my moment, and it was just all straight full speed ahead from then.
And also when I went to meet her family, her father, the stepfather, said to me that, when that other person came here, I just never feel it. I couldn't see it. I just never. But when you come here, man, me say yes.
We're coming to this part of it now. It's called the fun part. Who is most likely to? All right.
Okay.
So you decide how you identify who is who. Everything is her. All right. First
one. Who is the most beautiful?
Then I say, you're smart enough. All right. So who's most likely to spend?
Oh Lordy. No, him. Yes. That's him, yes.
Mm-hmm. I always thought you were the one that was more conservative.
Me?
No, Damion. I thought Damion was more conservative.
He's conservative. He's conservative when it's necessary.
Okay.
But as long as he sees what he wants, he's going for it. Doesn't matter the cost. He's going for it. Yes.
I agree with you.
Yes, it doesn't matter the cost.
Doesn't matter.
Even for it. Damion, listen to me. I honestly believe that our wives don't mind us, don't matter in the cost when they come on to them.
No.
They don't mind us that much in the cost.
True.
I might differ.
Listen, she always never wants me to spend on certain things.
Right.
Until she realized that, but the spending that I did is now benefiting me.
then it becomes all right then.
Yeah, like when I told her that, Simone, I gave her my car.
Right.
Because she had Ethan. I said, I will take the bus, I'll give you the car. When I told her that, that I'm going to try to get another vehicle so that I can move around, because on Saturdays I would do my thing. And I don't want to be carrying you everywhere you have to go, and then I want to go to the other direction to go and do something else. And she was like, no, we don't need it. And I was like, I saw where we needed it.
Right.
She didn't saw where, but no. She wouldn't mind me about the option.
It's a good thing to love the ladies' job.
So the next question is,
okay, who is most likely to fall asleep after intimacy?
you know, there. It with Renar and Malika, with Tanisha and Renar, with this one, with the next one, we have watched the fight. It was the next set of next couple. It's the same thing. I mean, they hope just one win the fall asleep.
Yes, sir.
It's official.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
Okay.
After a long day's work.
Yes.
Even if it is not a long day's work.
I chose him on. I do. Yeah.
Even if it's not a long day's work. Yes.
Yes.
Whether or not it is a long day's work,
Yes.
I just want to say to my wife,
Yes.
thank you for helping me to have a good night's sleep.
Exactly. Exactly. Amen. Trust me. When the lights out after that, you sleep like a baby.
Like a baby.
Y'all need to understand the power you guys have. Just understand. You remember the scripture David Samson? How did they get to cut Samson's locks?
Oh,
My
After
God.
he and Delilah and drop asleep. None was saying who was Delilah. Or that she was there, it happened to even the strongest. All right. So the next question: who's most likely to cry after a movie?
Oh, me.
Yeah.
So even what made us colors, with us.
I think Damion commentate out all of the show. Like,
Yes,
when they
yes.
have suffer.
When they show finish, when he show he's one of them we preempt something. But yet when he's finished, you know that I think I was in that room when this show was.
I normally write the movies.
They were pretty capable move.
Yeah, I normally write the movies.
I don't watch. So the movie watches Michelle because she got chat the whole time. So we just leave her with fair movie, and like maybe there's one mutual movie men I can watch, but most of the time we just stay fair because we want to talk about the whole show, and she wants that. Oh, she wanted fair.
It's like when Damion say, can tell what I got.
So next question, Michelle, you can ask.
Mhm.
All right. Who is most likely to start a quarrel?
Oh Lordy. Verbally
or initiate a quarrel. Anyway, you want to put it.
But
Well,
it's
you know
not
that-
like you purposefully do it.
you know, to tell you the truth, we don't quarrel.
And that's great. That's
We
great.
don't quarrel.
There's nothing that tipped you off and
It will
you
tip.
raise your voice.
It will tip and I raise, but he has never raised his voice.
Well done, my brother.
That is
If
Very
he's
much
going,
strength in Jesus' name.
he will give me the
I prefer to be silent.
move, the silent. And when that's the time when it really really when you're mad, yes.
Yes.
But does it work all the time? I don't know. No.
Maybe not.
No, but
It doesn't work all the time because sometimes when you really want to sleep, she come and she starts. You never answer me last night.
Such an inappropriate time.
yeah, but we don't really
But
quarrel.
our children has never heard us.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's really good.
Excellent.
If we have a disagreement, me make nice, me say something and me might be loud and him realize and him will shut up same time. Now go what to
But what does the silence mean to you?
me?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a bit annoying. Not sometimes, all the time it's annoying.
So we just pull out a little annoying thing that you never tell us about. That's
Yeah,
all right.
annoying. But then I'm the type of person I will talk, even though I have the feeling, I will talk about I'm easily to what me say now. Me forgive easy. Me know
Forgive easily.
once if him do something and it really hurts me, I'll forgive. I'll cry because most of the time when he does it, he's going to go. And he's not here. So when I'm reflecting, I will
Yes.
cry.
Yes.
I will ooze it out to the point I say, God, this is it. I can't bother.
Mhm.
But then when I come home and he comes home too, it's like all of that. And so when I faced him, I don't face him with any anger or anything.
Okay.
Most I would say, you never answer me, I'm here wait for your answer. But we're not going to that argument, we're gonna say,
All right. So your
That's
thing
good.
is is a controlled disgust. Let's use it that way. The other part, who then initiates the makeup?
Me,
Like when that you
unfortunately.
Kind of said it. She don't.
you know what she kind of said. What she say?
Okay.
She say
I will initiate it. I will initiate it. Because my husband is the type of person who does not show feelings.
all right.
And in that, I mean, he doesn't talk about his emotions readily. I have
Okay.
to pull it out.
Hence why you are a trained counselor. You get to bring out stuff out of him.
I have to pull it out.
But sir, from my background,
Yes.
and under the condition which I grew,
Right.
when you show your emotions in certain way,
Right.
it is used against you. It's
Oh.
becomes a weapon against you. And so
Okay.
you learn how to control that emotion from a tender age.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, which
Understood.
is one important point for our children, because what I've realized is that growing up, we were taught wrongfully.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that they embedded in us were wrong,
Right.
because we realized that from early we have to now get that in our children so they don't grow up with the
Grow up the
misconception like we did.
Right.
Talk how you
So-
feel. Show how you feel.
Express yourself.
Express
Yes.
yourself. Yeah.
I mean,
He said
I'm-
this too because even
Sorry.
growing up in the country, we would get a lot of slap, whether with shoes, anything there around me, room, anything. And then they have the audacity to tell us, quiet.
don't-
Yeah.
yeah,
Shut up.
You know, and if you never mind shop, that's why most of the time, like in the beginning, we start up argument and I'm offended. I used to just shut off and it annoys him. I just shut down because I'm told that you should be quiet. You're upset, you're quiet. But I think I think some of him rub off on me because if you know kind of you don't want to talk to you, tell him about it. Wasn't like that. But because he's the type of person where he demands you to speak about it. So I find myself now talking about it.
And then
I don't think
I wish
he
I could
wants to hear
stop
it.
her now. Jesus, please.
So it's like he doesn't want to hear it then and then. You understand? So me look on it and I say, maybe it would really work if me did stay. You understand? Because it's like I'm becoming too much like him. So it's like when you're alike,
Yeah.
you rub heads. But it is a process. It is a learning.
All right, so the last question in the fun segment. When the kids start to make noise or start to cry or you're uncomfortable, who's the first to react?
Me, unfortunately.
So you don't take turns.
But mummies are like that.
Didn't even think about it.
For the most part.
For the most part, it's her, but it's not
Okay.
solely her.
It's what?
It's not solely her,
Totally her. Okay.
Yeah.
but for the
But she's the
most
first to
part-
react.
But
Yes.
depending on the situation.
That diplomatic answer.
Even it's like that, very diplomatic. All right, so we're going back to the other questions. I hope you guys had fun with that one. So let me ask this question: do you guys enjoy being married?
I personally do. It's a contrast between us.
Yes.
I mean, if I really married someone else, I honestly don't think that I would be still in a relationship at this point, because of the tolerance level that my wife has.
Yes.
Every day, even when I'm at work and I'm speaking to my co-workers, I'm like, there's
Breaking-
no way
Temoy.
possible.
Breaking news, Temoy. Breaking
There
news.
is
Go ahead,
no
David.
way possible.
Yes.
All the dirty attitude that I have
Yes.
and all the things that I have done,
Yes.
another woman
Yes.
would have still found it within herself
Yes.
to stay with me.
That's love, though. You found love, brother.
But man, Temoy is like, this is just too much for me. What is going through your mind, Temoy?
I
I'm serious.
know. Well, I appreciate that. But sometimes he really annoys the hell out of me.
But you see, so it's not gone unnoticed.
And
That your patience is there.
well, as I said before, I'm the type of person who I really don't like to be angry all the time.
Yes.
I'm very emotional, and because of my training, I don't look what a person's attitude is a result of something. Because what you think, you become. Whatever is in the mind, it changes the behavior.
Yes.
So it's important to know what's in the mind. What are you thinking? What caused that behavior?
Yeah.
So I don't look at his behavior. And so when I told him I love him, I don't love him because of his behavior. It's a
Right.
decision, you understand? I want to. And so if that's the case, then whatever he's portraying, be it good or bad, I want to know what's in the mind so I can
Yeah.
help him along.
Right.
And that's what
The
brings
ethos
me
of
to a
it.
point, right? So that brings me to a point now where I'm humbled enough to say, I am going to love him in spite of.
In spite of.
In spite of.
Excellent. Excellent.
There's something that Tamara said that is true, and I hope the guys that are listening to this pay attention. You don't love him because of his behavior.
Right.
And bottom line, that is just love.
Mhm.
Because even the other day with the elderly couple that we're watching on My Future Wife podcast, and they're married for what? 40 something years? 50 something years. And that's what I get from their story, that they love each other in spite of. And as a gentleman, her husband was saying that if you can tell that, oh, I love him because he do this and he do that,
Yeah.
that is really not love. That is just you reciprocating something when somebody do for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Understand? So that is beautiful. I think a lot of persons don't realize that real love is when you reach to the point that you don't love the person because of their behavior. It's really in spite of you made that choice, you made that commitment, and you choose to do it.
Yeah.
And that is really love. And when you're growing up, you say, oh, you feel look butterfly, oh, I love him.
Yeah.
That wears off, but nobody tell you then.
Yes. Hey, girl, wake up, girl, wake up. It's gonna go. It's gonna go.
Going to go. So I think the heart, as the Bible said, become one is no joke.
Yeah.
You become one spiritually. It's deeper than even the physical looking and what the person can do. So that's a beautiful point. And I wish more married people would recognize it.
Not that married, I think the singles need to learn that.
Yeah, they need to know it and hear it.
So let me ask this question though, with all that nice things you have said, if there's any, is there anything at all you want to change about your spouse? If there's anything, any one thing you want to change? Because you guys have a good journey thus far. Mm-hmm.
My husband works a lot, and he works, which I appreciate it. He works because of his beginning. He works because he knows that he's not going to get something. Well, it's based on his going. He's the type of person who was not given. You have to work for it in order to get, right?
Yes.
And so when I had it in mind, I know that this is going to be something that I'm going to have to accept.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish he didn't have to work this hard.
That hard.
Yeah. Yes, I will. Because sometimes because especially in my earlier years, I really wanted him home. I wanted him home so much.
Yes.
Because of his work. He was out for a very long. My husband will get up from 6 o'clock and he start at 6 and him not finishing until 6 or 7. That's how he works. And he's not stopping. The sweat coming down. And sometimes even though I pray and I say, God, if you can grant him the favor. You know, like some people say, look, see somebody just come and hand you something.
Yeah.
I said, God, I think he works enough. He work hard. Whatever he has, I don't know, nobody give him. And he
deserve it.
And I said, God, at some point in time, I just give him a little blind. Make him have that testimony. So, you know, I didn't have to work for it. God gave it to me.
Amen.
Even though we're happy for his blessings, you know, because it's work and experience that let him become.
And the health and strength that God gives.
Yeah.
And he's one of the, I don't know if Jamaica should know who Damion Henry is. He's one of the better technicians in Jamaica here.
Temo, you just first me because I was about to say Damion is one of the best technicians you can find on earth, guys. In Jamaica.
I'm telling you, and it's not because of my husband.
Anybody who knows
anybody who comes to him, because Damion takes care of the car and he makes sure even when he not get the right money, he makes sure that his customers, when they leave him, they are leaving him happy. And
so if you want a technician, guys, just link me up. I'll give you Damion's number, and trust me, you will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed. All right,
that's the only thing.
Go ahead. Damion, anything you change?
The only thing that I would really want is some of the projects that I do on the outside, like that, like for the house. You know, I would love her to be more integral with it. You know,
you mean all the hoes are parts of the farm?
Or something, you know, just, because these memories are gonna live on.
Oh,
so when you do stuff like this together, I mean, it is.
So you can pass the wrench.
To me, it is very important. For instance, I'm painting. I mean, I'm not the only one painting. She's doing something there. She's trying something there.
Well, I will try.
There you go.
Do it in the summer when she have her breaks and she don't have the lesson.
No, yes.
There you go.
When she have free time. Who is most fashion forward?
I don't know.
You guys have the point to that.
We are one alike, yes.
It can be both of you.
Fashion is not something that would I say?
Neither of us go for.
Well,
we can testify, guys.
You look beautiful.
When you see Damion and Temoy at church, you see the bishop and his wife walking in, yeah? I'm not joking. They put themselves together.
Yes, I think it's half an hour. I think that's the truth.
Yeah,
yes, half an hour.
Yeah, that's true.
And to add to that, I was really looking at her Sunday, and
she looked nice.
I was like, wow.
And Damion, I can agree with you, bro. There are times when our wives, for example, Michelle, when she put on, was like, when I look, I'm like, yeah, it's nice. But there's a time when she don't ask me, and I'm like staring. I'm like, whoa. Am I on that? We do it. Definitely. All right. So, how was your faith? You're both Christians living for the Lord, walking with the Lord. How has your faith impacted your marriage?
I believe that faith is really what held us together a lot of times when we had our challenges.
Yes.
Because if we should go by how we feel,
yes,
how we allowed each other to feel at the time, we wouldn't have been together right now.
Okay, so, excellent.
I think that faith has really been the rock upon which this relationship was built.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, that is so true. When I started, because even though he wowed me with that, I wanted to be my wife thingy.
Yes.
I said to God, I started praying, and there's one scripture that always helped me, because God didn't say yes and He didn't say no. But what He gave me was trust in the Lord with all thine heart.
Yeah, Proverbs
And
3 verse 5.
You're right. Be not unto your own understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge Him. And those rocky times, I said, Lord, this is faith. I am believing in you, and I'm praying that, you know, I may feel this way, but I am trusting in you, because when you gave me him, me never want a man. He's gonna wait.
Yes.
I never go to him and said, God, give me a husband. When I gave up that time, I said, God, I am done.
Yes.
But you are going to choose this time. And so when he came, and he came in such a way that the way that he did, and at the time that he did, it must be God. And so I said, Lord, I'm going to trust you through this. So what he said really, that I will. Yes.
Amen.
Because
Amen.
there were even things that would happen before in the earlier stages, and I was like, Father,
yeah, sure.
The rest of my life, I really have to go live with this. But I mean, you know, we just supported each other, and we were being there for each other. And things are becoming to the better part of it now. I have not regretted marrying her. And if you ask me, would I marry again? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
That is marriage, Damion.
Yes.
That it is, you know.
All right, so we this is the last question, and I want you guys to just take the time out to encourage and tell us what advice would you give, or what advice do you have for single persons who are desiring to get married, or wanting to get married?
Ladies before gentlemen. All right, so a lot of times single persons are looking towards a serious relationship. What they may see on the outside is not necessarily what the relationship is for individuals. So they will look at role models and say, oh, I want to be like this person, I want to be like that person. But unless you're willing to put in the work that it requires, because we are human beings and we are not perfect by any means.
Yes.
And therefore, there are going to be times when we are going to slip up, and we are going to do things that drive each other up the wall.
It's true.
That makes each other just want to walk out the door and never come back.
Yes.
There are going to be times like that, but then you have to remind yourself of who you serve, who put it together, and what you're living for.
Yes.
And when you can do these things, it will help you to get your mind and your relationship back in the correct place that it is supposed to be. Because at the end of the day, when we have disputes and we have our challenges, we have to look at the fact that, listen, this is only for now. Forgiveness is key.
Yes.
It can't be that it's a smooth road. It will never ever be a smooth road.
Yes.
But we can finish the race together if we stuck in it together.
Yes.
And we continue to support each other. One of the issues that I have had from my early days is communication. I have a communication problem.
Yes, man. Love time we text Damion and Damion take forever for text one.
And I think my WhatsApp about a whole name, Damion. Anyway, you know.
I tend to work out things in my head, but that's not the case for my wife. My wife wants me to talk to her more often. And I believe that, yes, you must share and talk with your spouse. It is very important.
Right.
Because when you guys know what the target is, what the plan is, what the aim is, even though she would always say, yes, you need to strike a balance. If you go to too much, come at church, 2 Sundays or stuff like that. But the thing is that when it's a church week, it's normally the time when we are making advancement in the competition.
Because you play a league.
Yes,
Okay.
where they need all hands on deck. And so sometimes, I know it's hard, but I really want to see us advancing as a club and stuff like that.
And which club you play for, if you don't mind?
Well, I'm currently playing for Kensington CC. I have played for various clubs before, which are minor clubs like Brayton Redcap, Phoenix Park Royal. I'm even on Chepstow cricket club.
Okay.
Different clubs. It is important that you guys communicate and we have a common understanding. Because when we know what each other's goals are, or plan or aim, it helps each other to appreciate the decisions that we make and the plans and whatever we put in place to accomplish each target. And then we would work with each other and understand more about each other in terms of getting to a particular place. So communication is of vital importance. One of the things also is that we must learn how to work out things. In my previous relationship before Temoy, there was one standout reason why I decided that I had to part ways with that girl. Because I am not the person who, whenever we have dispute, to go out at the front of the yard and I tell you, and whole heap or something. Everybody must know our business. I am not that type of person. I always believe that if we have a dispute, we can sit down and we can talk it through. That was always my belief. So it will never be a bed of roses, but the commitment must be there. And trust me, if you continue to pray and to keep the faith, to believe and to trust, it can work.
Amen.
It can work.
And guys, here Damion talking. Damion served as one of our deacons for a couple of years. So Temoy,
It's okay.
you can give your advice to those single persons wanting to get married.
Well, for me, the only thing I would say is that, as we said earlier, love is a choice. It's a choice. And so you have to sit down now and look what you want and measure it with the word of God. Is it in line with God? And if it is, then you choose to love it. Now I said, yes, so I was saying that love, there's a lot of misconception where love is concerned. And so if you choose to love somebody, you have to choose to love them, be good or bad. And so when you enter a relationship, you have to have that in mind all the time. Because nobody wants to go into a relationship and then 3 years or 5 years down the line, boy, we can't tell him. It's as a result of something has broken down somewhere along the line, and you choose to respond, not positive but negative. And with that, something is going to feed on that to pull it somewhere and pull yourself away more and more each day. But then at the end of the day, once you understand that when you love somebody, you love them in their good times and in their bad times.
Yes.
Nobody perfect. There's no perfect woman. There's no perfect man.
Yes.
What you choose to get or to accept, you have to. It's like you're making or creating.
Yeah, creating
what you
something.
want out of what you have. It's like you get the raw material, and
Right.
you have to fix it up and
Yes.
make it be what you want it to be. And it's an everyday working at it.
That's
Not
what I couldn't
one
remember.
day. You understand?
That's what I couldn't talk about Miles Monroe when he said God gives the man the raw material and whatever the woman, however the woman turn out, is what the man
Exactly.
make it to be.
Right. Yes. So you
I
have
mean, and it's vice versa.
It's vice versa. It's
Yeah.
vice versa. Because he has to suit me and I have to suit him. Both
And
of
there's
us
a,
have
and
to
there's a
work
journey
together.
to get in there.
Right.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, we want to be whole.
Right.
And that's God's plan for us to be whole.
Yes.
And for me, being his helpmate, God wants us to be whole. He wants us to be whole.
Yes.
That's his plan. And if that is the case, we have to do our part to be whole as well.
And if he sends somebody in our lives to participate in that, we should do our part.
Yes. Because he's not going to come down and work it for us.
That
Our
is so.
relationship is between you and the person.
That is true.
He's not going to come down and work it for you. You have to work it for yourself.
Yes, that is so true.
Yeah.
So, Damion and Temoy, I mean, it took us a while, but we are so happy that you guys took the time out, guys. You're watching. It is now 11. It's now like almost 11:30 tonight, and they're with us still, just to create this video to encourage you, to give you inspiration, to tell you their story and the goodness and the grace of God. And so again, guys, we want to tell you so much thanks. Really appreciate you guys. And you have the last word to tell others to join the family. I hear a conversation with Liz.
Conversations with the Lees. Yes.
That's right.
Come on in, subscribe.
All right.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having us as well, and thank
Yeah,
you
man.
for allowing us to share our story so it may touch someone else.
That's the objective.
That's Conversation with the Lees. Subscribe, guys.
Amen. Like and share. So
Like
thank
and
you so much,
share.
guys.
It was really lovely. Really.
Thank you so much, guys. And I'm
No
sure
problem.
a lot of persons going to find this one encouraging also. Right? So thank you so much. When we start making a lot of money, we take you guys out for dinner. For sure.
All right, no
This is
problem.
This is
Bye.
All right, so guys, there you have it. Another conversation with another couple in our series Marriage Works. We hope you enjoyed it, and remember to like, share, and subscribe.
And thank you for watching.
Bless it. See you on the other side.
It's yet to come.